Hello. Today I'm going to show you the second part for this Oracle Cloud Control 13C setup. Last time I already did create a repository for database by now, so we are going through the procedures for 13C Management Server OMS installation. In this talk, where I already done everything and documented, so it won't take you a very long time. Like when I do it online and show you, that it take quite a long time, several hours, because running the installation itself it take probably 2 or 3 hours, very long time. I just put everything together, give you the steps, and you can follow with it. We need to set up a file system, is the first one. Repository database configuration at the same time when you do the installation. So here is the file system. I set it up. Actually, we're using Linux 7, and most directory will be created automatically, but you really need to create this tool yourself, because in the installation they're going to ask for it. If you're not pre-created, then it will fail. The systems, if you can, put CPU 8 of them and increase your RAM to 24 GB. The reason is, on this one server you have 3 things to run at the same time: Oracle database, OMS server, and agent server. Even the license is based on CPU, but if you can, put 8 of them. Here is the basic RPM package you need for this installation. Is not a lot. If something's missing, I generally use the yum install file name to install it. One thing I make the special attention here, because when I did the first time, I installed repository database 12.2.0.1, and then I also applied October 29 PSU. When I did the 13C installation, it failed. So I contacted Oracle. They told me, if you really wanted to, you can install this later, or without it, it's fine, because it's a custom issue. That's what happened to me. So later I removed it, installed this one, 12.2.0.1 only, without PSU. Those steps I'm going to one by one is really quickly. Actually, only the installation takes a quite long time. It takes 2 or 3 hours, depending on your system. The other steps, just basic things you have to do. Before starting installation, you check your data files and temp files and make the automatic extendable. If it's not, your installation code behind in there not go anywhere. That is the first time I run into the issue, and then second time I knew it, I changed it. The staging area, you download the OMS 13C software, it takes quite a long time. You have a total 6 files to download. This file you can download from otnoracle.com. Before I do the installation, I always make backup for the repository database, also Oracle inventory. If something goes wrong, I do not care about it, just copy back everything, restart clean. It's generally what I'm doing. RPM package. If you need to, you can check it. It's a command to check the RPM. When you check it, find something is missing, yum install. This is the command you're going to use. One thing is for the cctl.configure file. This one, when you install database, they ask you doing this way, but when you start install 13C, they ask to put 11,000. If it's not, you cannot pass this parameter. This directory, you really don't need to do anything with it, but this one you have to make it manually. Because this one is underneath a subdirectory. You're going to use it later. When you do the installation, you'll know where to put in. Optimizer parameter. Adjust your shared pool, Java pool, SGA size. I put in the 4 GB. Yeah. Java pool generally is 150 meg. It be enough. This is 3 of them. It's required for install 13C. You have to set up this one to be true, another 2 to be false. The steps don't really care if you can start. If you use the P file or SP file, it doesn't matter because that one is either will work. When you start installation, you check this for them. Environment setting, class path, Oracle home, Oracle SID, Oracle Unique home has to be unset. Do not set it. Okay. Here is we can start with the installation. The installation is you download the file. This one is a start installation. Then you can put your temp directory anywhere if you have space, because I did quite long back temp directory. They have unzipped file. Actually, it's the 6 files. So the copy is somewhere in the temp directory. Start from there doing the work. So that's a pretty big one. So you are better direct where you put those temp directory. When you start installer, just follow screens. You don't care about the email. You do not care about the backup, skip it. The next one will be a pre-check. When they do the pre-check, they will give the information what it is, because I already did this 3 times, so I know what the issue for this time is. Everything's passed, no any issue at all. But here's the way you have to modify the correct the issue one by one to be able to do the installation. In this screen, generally I can choose to say create simple without using advanced. It is better not only install software and then configure later. It is better to at the same time to do installation and configuration at the same time. So it'll be much easier to do. Simple is so far I used this installation. So far I do not have any issue to set up anything else. The next screen, you put in the locations. Where is the host name you put in, and then middle tiers, OMS location, and also your agent 13C location. Set up your password. Password is can use for both OMS or login for the, we have to log in the WebLogic database, support database repository information, which is 1521, and also need the sys password. Service, you put in your SID or service ID here. You got some information later, but actually it is okay. Some say it's got error. They said it's usually they mention it. It can be fixed automatically. Do you want to do it? You click yes to fix itself. And generally, I will click yes and let the system do it. You really don't need it to, manually to change it. Some warning. You can check a lot of warning message. I did 3 times. I still have some warning message, but you can ignore it. Just click on OK. Here's the location. You have to put, the publisher, the the location, the file path here. And this is another one, is software library. This is 3 of them. This we created before and put the directory path here. And then you came to the summary page. The summary page is you can record it to see what support you're using. Right? Usually it's a 2 port you need to pay attention to. One is this port, Interface Manager Upload port 4903. Another one is the Workload Management Agent port 3872. This port later you're going to use it to install agent on different servers. Then click install. The install takes quite a long time. It's maybe 2 or 3 hours, depending on systems. It could be much longer if the system is very slow. But usually you do not have a lot of issues if you just follow the way we did before. So it should be go through really quick. When the system asks you running the root.sh, you go there, log in as a root to running the file. And finally, when the installation is done, it gives you a final page. You got to remember this page, record it. So it gives you the one thing is your Interface Manager Cloud Control URL. Also give you the admin service is URL, which is WebLogic login. Usually it's a server's name 7102.com. So, but OMS management login will be server name 7803 EM in my case. Click on close. It's finished. And you can test the login to see it works. This is generates your Cloud Control 13C login page for OMS. Login user is a sysman. Later you can create another super user. The password that you using when you do the installation. So by now the installation is done, configuration also done. The 13C OMS is ready to use. For next one, we're going to start step by step to see what is the setup you needed to do. Talk to you later. Bye.